Hi, welcome to my channel. If you clicked on this video, then you want to make a balaclava, specifically a granny square balaclava. This one, we're going to be making the black and white one today. This is a beginner-friendly tutorial. These are the stitches that you will be using in this tutorial. If you don't know how to do some of these, don't stress. I'm going to show you how to do all of these stitches. We're going to go slow. I'm going to help you through it, and at the end you're going to have one of these really cute, really cool granny square balaclavas. The supplies that you're going to need for this project are whatever colors you want, but for this one we're going to be doing white and black in the Red Heart Super Saver yarn, acrylic yarn. And you're going to need a pair of scissors, a crochet needle to weave in your ends, and a 5.5 millimeter crochet hook, also known as the eye hook. Once you have all your materials collected, we can go ahead and get started. For this project, you're gonna wanna make 8 granny squares. And since we're making 8, we're gonna alternate between, I'm gonna show you how to make these, but we're gonna alternate between these two patterns. So the black and white, see how I kind of did the black, 2 white, 2 black, and a white, and then I did the opposite on this. So you're gonna make 4 of these and 4 of these. I'm just prefacing that because I'm only going to show you how to make 1 granny square, and then you're going to make the other 7. So I did 4 of this color scheme, feel free to screenshot if you need to, and 4 of this color scheme. So for the one I'm going to show you, it will be this one because I got to make one more. I'll show you how to attach all of them together to make your balaclava. So let's make this granny square. So to start, you are going to grab your white yarn. It will be black if you're making the other one, but for 4 of them, it's going to be the white yarn. And we are going to make a slip knot. And take your 5.5 millimeter crochet hook. Pull it on. Okay, now that you have this together, you are going to chain 4. 2. And that chaining is just yarning over and pulling through. And you're just doing that 4 times. So once you have 4, you're going to insert your hook into the first one you made and slip stitch. So yarn over, and you're going to pull through the one you just went into and pull through the one on your hook. So this kind of makes a little bit of like a circle with the hole in the middle. You're going to be working in that middle hole. So to start off, you're going to chain 3. Oh, try not to get messed up. So try and hold this extra piece with your circle down here. So you're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. Okay, and then you are going to do 2 double crochets in the center of this circle. Now while you're doing this, hold this extra piece against where you're crocheting so that we can just cut it off in the end. Now I'll show you how to do that, but so 2 double crochets. So once you're in the hole, you've yarned over, you're in the center hole, you yarn over again, pull through that center, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the second 2 loops. And that is a double crochet. You're going to do 1 more of those. So I'm going to show you again. Yarn over, insert into the middle, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through the first 2 loops, yarn over, pull through the second 2 loops. So now you should have your chain 3 and your 2 double crochets. Now I'm just going to hold this and scooch these down because we need to make room. And you can kind of see how I'm crocheting over this piece. Keep doing that, okay, until we're done, and then I'll show you how to get rid of that piece. Once you've done the 2 double crochets, you're going to chain 2. And now we're going to do 3 double crochets. So in the beginning we chained 3, that counted as our first double crochet. So here it's just 3 double crochets, and you're still going to be working in the center and still crochet around that extra piece of yarn that you see there that started us out. So you're just going to do 3 double crochets into the center. All of these are going in the center. Oh, I just pulled everything out. Hold on. 1, 2, and 3. Perfect. Now we're going to kind of pull them down, make some room, and you're going to chain 2. And this is making the corner of our square. I don't know if you can tell, but see how we made a corner right here? We're making another corner here. So it's 3 more double crochets into the center around that extra piece too. So 3 double crochets. Perfect. And then you're going to chain 2 again. And then you're going to kind of pull this a little tighter. And we're going to do 3 more double crochets in the center. 1, 2, 3. Perfect. And then we're going to chain 2 to finish this off. And you're going to go to the top of that first chain 3 you did. Put your hook in there, and we're going to slip stitch. So yarn over, pull through that stitch, and just keep pulling through the loop on your hook. And that is the first part. And grab our scissors and flip it over and take this piece that we were crocheting over, pull tight, make sure it's in there, and you're just gonna cut it off. And you don't have to worry about it coming undone, because you just crocheted over it. This whole part you were crocheting over it, so you basically weaved it in without weaving it in. For this next part, here's what we're working towards. So we did this little center piece, and now we're gonna have to switch to black. So in order to make this very seamless and easy, where you don't have to weave any of these ends in at the end, because I hate weaving in ends, what we're going to do is you're actually going to slip stitch into the stitch next to the one you just slip stitched in, and then slip stitch into this corner. And you're gonna do that every single time we change colors. It's just gonna make your life so much easier, I promise. And then you just chain 1, and this is only when we're changing colors, and cut the yarn and pull it through like that. Now don't worry about this piece, we're about to get rid of it with our next color, so just kind of put it to the side. Now we need to switch to black to do these next 2 rows, and so grab your black and go ahead and make a slip knot like we did in the beginning. Put your hook in there, pull tight. So I'm going to show you how to do this to get rid of all your ends. You don't have to weave them in. So the corner that we have this string in, that's where we're going to start. So go to that chain 2 corner, and you're just going to slip stitch your yarn onto your work, okay? And then you're going to take this extra piece, this is important, take this extra piece and pull it over to kind of put it with this white piece. And while you crochet, you're going to hold these 2 extra pieces against your project and crochet around them, so that we can just cut them off after we're done, okay? So just hold them together against your project while we do this next part. So you're going to chain 3. You're holding those pieces. It can be a little hard, but you got this. 1, 2, 3. Okay, you chain 3. Kind of push it down a bit. And then you're going to 2 double crochets. So 1 and 2. And after you've done that, you should see these 2 pieces are kind of coming out of the stitches you just did, because that you're crocheting over them. And then this is another corner, okay, so we're just making another corner. So we need to chain 2, and we're going to do 3 more double crochets in the same spot to make our corner. So 1, 2, 3, and now your corner is done, and you're going to chain 2 and keep going. Now you're just going to drop these 2, actually we can cut them off right now. So once you did that corner and you crocheted over these 2 pieces, you can just take your scissors and you can just cut those 2 pieces and get rid of them and get them out of the way. And now you should really only have this piece, and you crocheted over them so they won't come apart. And you're going to do that every single time, so we don't have to weave them all in at the end, because I hate doing that. So you've chained 2, and now you're going to make another corner. So it's 3 double crochets, 2, 3, and then you kind of want to scooch them down, and then you're going to chain 2 again, and you're going to do another 3 double crochets in the same spot. And then you're going to just repeat what we just did in these 2 holes. So 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet, chain 2. until you get back here, and then I'll show you what to do next. Okay, once you've done all of your corners, you should end by chaining 2, and then we are going to slip stitch into the top of the first chain 3 you did. So go ahead and slip stitch, and then to keep going, so based off our example, we're going to need another row of this. You can see the row we did right here. You're going to need one more row of black. So we're not changing our colors, but we are going to slip stitch into the next stitch and then slip stitch into the corner so that we can start in the corner again. So the next row is basically the same thing, except we have this extra little middle piece that we didn't have before. So I'm going to show you what to do in those. So this is a corner, so we're going to start the same way. Chain 3, 2 double crochets, because that chain 3 counted as a double crochet. And then you're going to chain 2, and you're going to do another 3 double crochets in the same spot to make your corner. And then you're going to chain 2. Now you have this middle piece. It's not a corner, so it's different. We're going to just do 3 double crochets in that spot. So you should have 3 double crochets, and then what you're going to do is chain 2, and then you're going to do the corner again. So corner is 3 double crochets, chain 2, 3 double crochets in the same spot. Once you did your corner, you're just going to chain 2, and then there's another middle spot that's not a corner, and you're just going to chain double crochet 3 times in that spot. And then chain 2. So what you just did here, you're just going to repeat that all the way until you get back to the beginning. So in the corner, you already know what to do. 3 double crochet, chain 2, 3 double crochet, end by chaining 2, and then you're going to do 3 double crochets in these middle pieces right here. Chain 2 when you're done, and do another corner until you get back to the beginning. If you're confused, just go back to where we started here, and then just keep doing that again. Okay, once you've done your last 3 double crochets, you're going to end by chaining 2, and then we're going to, I know it's hard to see with the black yarn, but we're going to slip stitch into the top of the chain 3 that you started. And now it's time for a color change, because we're going to change back to white. So we're just going to slip stitch into the next stitch, slip stitch into the corner, chain 1, and cut the yarn. And you're going to fasten off by pulling your hook through, and then you should have that. Now that you're here, we're going to switch to white. So go ahead and take your white, and this process is the same it was earlier when we switched to black. So slip knot, put your hook on there. You're going to go to the corner that you have your black string on, and you're just going to slip stitch to connect your color. Once you're connected, take this extra piece, put it with the black piece, and hold them together to your project while you do this corner stitch. So for another corner stitch, chain 3. This is the same thing we've been doing. 2 double crochets, holding your yarn there so that it's crocheting over it. Chain 2, 3 double crochets, and now that you've done your corner, you're going to flip it over, and we'll cut these 2 pieces off to get them out of the way. Now we're just going to keep going. So you're going to chain 2. Now the only difference in this one is there's 2 middle pieces now. So you have your corners still, and then you have, instead of having 1 middle piece, you have 2. So you're just going to do 3 double crochets into that first opening. You're going to chain 2, do 3 more double crochets into the next opening. It's not a corner. Chain 2, and then you're going to crochet into the corner like you've been. So 3 double crochets, 2, 3, chain 2, 3 more double crochets. 1, 2, 3. And that is a corner. So you're just going to repeat this all the way around. It's very repetitive. It's just corners are the same and the middle pieces are just 3 double crochets, chain 2. So go ahead and do this whole part and then meet me back here. Now that you reach the end of that row, you're going to chain 2, slip stitch into that first chain 3, slip stitch into the next stitch. Oh no, I pulled it through. Hold on. Slip stitch into the next stitch, and then slip stitch into the corner. And we're not changing colors here. We actually have one more row of white before we change colors. So you're just going to keep doing what you just did. So obviously start by chaining 3 and just do the 3 double crochets. Chain 2. I'm sorry, 2 double crochets because your first chain 3 counted as one. So 3 more double crochets. Okay, and then you're going to chain 2. And now the only difference in this row is that there are 3 middle pieces. So in each of these middle pieces, you're just doing 3 double crochets and then chaining 2 in between all of them, okay? And then your corners are the same. So you can go ahead and do that next round, all the way around and come back. You made it to the end of the second row of white, and now you're going to chain 2, slip stitch into that first chain 3 we did, slip stitch to the next stitch, and slip stitch into the corner. And now we actually are going to change colors to this last row of black. So you're going to chain 1, cut your yarn, pull through, and now you should have this much of your granny square done. We just have one row left, and then you're going to make some more, and then we can show you how to put it all together. You're going to make a slip knot, and we're going to attach it just like we attached every other color so far in this tutorial. So go to the corner, slip stitch that bad boy on there, and then you're going to take that extra piece, take it over here, hold it with the white one against your project while you crochet. Just a reminder, chain 3 to start your corner like you've always done, chain or double crochet 2 times, and then chain 2, do 3 more double crochets in the same space to create that corner. Make sure you're crocheting over those 2 extra pieces. Now that you did that, flip it over. Take these 2 extra pieces that we've crocheted over, cut them, and now you're just going to continue all the way around. You only want to do 1 row of this though. So just a reminder to chain 2 at the end of your corner. And in all these little middle spaces, you are just doing 3 double crochets in all of these middle pieces. And a middle piece is basically just a piece that is not a corner. So if it's not a corner, you're just putting 3 double crochets in and chaining 2. So go ahead and repeat this on all sides and then come back to the video once you hit the end. So you've made it to the end of the last black row. You're going to chain 2, slip stitch in the top of that 3rd chain, slip stitch 2 more times until you end up in the corner, chain 1, and then cut your yarn off. Now leave enough room to needle it in, okay, because we're gonna actually have to weave this one in like normally. So you finished a granny square. Yay, congratulations, you did it. Now we're gonna take one of these crochet needles that I had you grab earlier. Oh, I dropped it. Then you're gonna take your corner, take this last little piece, it's the only one we have to thread in. Yay. And then I just go to the back of my project. It doesn't look as clean as the front, and what you just do is you kind of just weave it in, and I just like to weave it in between these right here, and I pull it through, and then I just cut it off. And I've never had a problem doing it this way. If you want to weave in your ends a different way, feel free. Now that you know how to make a granny square, I'm gonna have you make 7 more for a total of 8, and then come back to the video. If you want it to look like the picture in the thumbnail, you're gonna want to do 4 of these and 4 of these. So switching your colors, basically opposite of what we did. So go ahead and come back once you have 8, and I'll show you how to put it all together. Welcome back. You should have 8 squares. If you're doing the same thing I'm doing, you should have 4 that end in white and 4 that end in black. but I'm gonna go ahead and we're gonna lay these out, and I'm gonna show you how we're going to attach it all together to make our balaclava. Okay, I had to move to the floor for this because my desk isn't big enough, but I'm gonna show you kind of how to lay out your granny squares. So this is kind of the inspiration I'm going for. So I laid these out based off of what that photo looks like. This is how you want them laid out if that's what you're going for. So go ahead and pause the video and take a second and kind of lay everything out like this. I do have these like nice side down because I'm gonna lift these and sew like this. So I want the seam on the inside. So you want to face them nice side down, ugly side up. And if you're looking to see if which side's ugly and which side's nice, if you look closely, this like ugly looking part, that's the ugly part. If you switch it to the other side, it will look nice and put together. So you want the nice and put together on the floor. Once all your squares are like this and you have an idea, I'm going to show you where we're going to attach. So basically what we're going to start by doing is attaching where everything's touching. Okay, so this line right here we're going to single crochet together, and these two lines we're going to single crochet it all together, and these two we're going to single crochet together. So every line that's touching, so here, this line, these two lines, every line that's touching we're going to single crochet together, and then I'm going to show you how to attach the rest of the pieces so that it doesn't get too confusing. So I will be on the floor for this part just because my table is not big enough. How we're gonna start this, okay, I'm trying to make sure it doesn't get too confusing. We're gonna actually single crochet everything together with white. That's what I'm doing. You can use the black if you want to, but I'm gonna be using the white, and it's the same crochet hook that we've been using this whole time. Slip knot your white, and the first two pieces we're gonna do to single crochet together are this side piece. You can do it however you want, but like I said, all the pieces that are touching, that's what we're doing. So I'm just gonna pick it up like this together, and we're just gonna single crochet it together. So what I do is I put my hook into the corner of both pieces, and I make sure that the nice sides are facing each other so that this seam won't be shown. And you're gonna slip stitch your yarn. Oh, I'm sorry, go ahead and single crochet. So pull your yarn through, yarn over, pull through both loops on your hook. That's a single crochet. So you're going to insert your hook into both stitches on both squares, yarn over, pull through, yarn over, pull through both. And you're just going to do this in each stitch all the way across. And in those chain 2 spaces, you're going to do 2 single crochets. So there should be 3 single crochets here on the 3 double crochet stitches. And then in the chain 2 space, we're going to do 2 single crochets. And you're just going to repeat that until you get all the way to the end of this line. Now that you are in the corner, you're just going to do 1 in the corner, and then you're going to chain 1 and go ahead and fasten off. And then what I like to do, just to make sure things don't get confusing, is I lay it back down where it was now that it's attached together. Your other side will look like this. This is what we're going for. And then the next thing we're going to do is just keep doing what I just did, but on all of these sides. So go ahead and do this single crochet across like I just showed you. Now that I've kind of showed you the process, I'm going to go ahead and let you finish. So come back when you have this row, this row, this row, and that row all single crochet together. Come back to the video and I'll show you how to finish it up. This is the fun part. Now that you have attached your squares at all the spots I told you to, you only have 3 spots left to attach. So let's go ahead and attach the bottom part that kind of comes together to make it a balaclava. Okay, so what we're gonna do is we're gonna take this and we're gonna flip it over pretty side up, and we're gonna take this bottom row and we're gonna attach these 2 spots together, and that is where we're gonna crochet next. So go ahead and crochet this spot together and then come back to the video. Okay, now that we have crocheted that together, you should kind of have what looks like this when you fold it all together, and you have this top piece still. So what we're gonna do is this top piece needs to fold down and connect to the side pieces like this. These two pieces here, they need to connect in order to make it a hood. So go ahead and single crochet this together and single crochet this together, and then that is your hood, and I will meet you back here once those two parts are attached. So you attached everywhere you were supposed to, and now you should have your hood basically in the perfect shape. So what we're going to do before we basically fold it inside out, because right now it's inside out, so before we fold it the right side out, we're going to take all of these pieces and take one of our crochet needles and just weave all of them in, so that we can just kind of clean up the project and get rid of all these flyaways. And then I'm going to show you how to do the trim, and then you'll be done. So go ahead and weave in all your ends and come back. Okay, once all your ends are weaved in and you're just left with the hood, go ahead and fold it right side out, so how you would wear it basically. And what we're gonna do is on this opening where your face is, we're gonna crochet like a trim around that. It's like this, I'll show you an example, but it's kind of like this like cute little white trim. It's super easy. I was gonna do one on the bottom. I think I'm also gonna do one on the bottom. So let's go ahead and get our white yarn and the same crochet hook that we've been using, and we are going to attach it pretty much anywhere on this hood part and just single crochet all the way around. Here's our hood. I don't know if it's a little hard to tell, but we're just going to slip knot and we're going to attach the yarn. I think I'm just going to go ahead and attach it right here in this corner. And what we're going to do is just single crochet all around the opening of the hood where your face is. So in each stitch, I'm just going to put and I'm going to do this kind of tight because I'm only doing one. So in the chain 2 spaces, make sure you're putting 2 single crochets, and then you're just putting a single crochet in each stitch. So it should look something like this, and you're just going to do this all the way around until you get back to where you started. So now I've basically crocheted all the way around the opening and full circle. Basically I just slip stitch into the first single crochet I did, chain 1, fasten off. Ooh, turn my light off. Fasten off. So now we have this cute trim all around where your face is, and I'm actually gonna go ahead and do the same thing on the bottom. This part kind of goes where your neck is. So basically do the same thing we just did, but on the bottom, and then come back. And that's it. Once you weave in the ends from the trim that you did, you're done. That is your balaclava, your black and white hood. Congratulations, you made it to the end. Hopefully with a completed black and white balaclava. If not, something went wrong along the way and you have a couple questions, feel free to use the comment section down below and I will respond as quick as possible. If you made it all to the end with no problems, please like this video and subscribe to my channel for more crochet tutorials. Thanks for watching.